This is Valley News Live at 6.
I think a lot of people can rest a little bit easier because he was quite a pervasive criminal. So we're happy to say that he is safely in custody.
Fargo's police chief on the arrest of Hunter Havisto this afternoon. He's linked to several recent robberies in South Fargo.
At this hour, he's being booked into the Cass County Jail and is expected to be formally charged with several crimes. He was taken into custody, we're told, without incident and is uninjured.
Our team coverage begins with Aaron Walling, who is outside the apartment building where Havisto was arrested. Aaron, what do you have?
Thanks, guys. This is actually the place where he was arrested. Now, there was officers up and down the street trying to find Hunter as they were making their way to try to find him. And unfortunately, that they were able to actually find him. They found him at this place, earlier in the day, roughly around 3:30 is when they made the arrest. Now, also that they were at the gas station off of 6th Avenue South where they found the vehicle that he had stolen. That was part of another investigation, also robbery that had taken place. And he's also been confirmed by Fargo PD to have been involved with all of the other robberies that happened yesterday and today. Now, the events started off today earlier, and that's going to be out at Mr. Money, where we go to Valley News Team's Bailey Hurley with more information. Bailey?
Yeah, Aaron, I did have a chance to speak with the owner of Mr. Money today, and I want you to take a look at this exclusive surveillance video I just had a chance to grab. So the owner tells me that they were just inside. They watched that suspect Hunter Havisto back into a parking space here at in front of the store. He walked in, he pulled a gun, and he demanded $1,000. The employees complied, gave him that $1,000, and that's when the owner says that Havisto then pointed to another till and demanded money out of that till. They also complied with that. That's when the owner says Havisto told them that he wanted the employees to come with them. The owner says that he told Havisto, absolutely not. You got your money, now get the heck out of my store. That's when the owner says that he ran out of the store and got back in his vehicle. And that's when the owner says one of his employees grabbed a gun, chased Havisto out of the store, and then shot at that suspect vehicle solely as a way to make that suspect vehicle easier to identify both by the public and the police. That suspect vehicle was later found in the 25th Street and 13th Avenue area, and that's when Havisto was eventually arrested. To have a chance to speak with the owner just moments ago. Again, he just reiterated how happy he is that Havisto is in police custody and said he's just so happy that no other business owners have to go through the fear that this might happen to them tomorrow or in the days ahead. And nobody has to go through the fear that he and his employees, as well as several other businesses, had to go through the last 48 hours. Live in Fargo tonight, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
All right, thanks, Bailey. Although formal charges have not been filed against Havisto, here are the crimes he's been tied to in Fargo. Today's robbery at Mr. Money near Cashwise, yesterday's robbery at the M&H convenience store on Main Avenue, and 2 robberies on Tuesday night. The first at Walmart on 13th Avenue South, and then at Casey's, also on 13th Avenue.
The other big story today continues to be the continuous and dangerous heat throughout the valley and the potential for more stormy conditions tonight. So let's go to Hutch Johnson for the very latest. Hutch?
Mike, thanks so much. Good evening, everyone. Right now, we have a couple of things we're watching out for as we head into the evening hours. And the number one weather concern right now in the valley and beyond is the heat that we have. Heat advisory through 7 o'clock. We have triple-digit heat indices out there. Stay hydrated. Here's a look at the southern valley where we could see a few evening storms, but they're going to be hit and miss, mostly miss. Most of us enjoy a very hot but quiet evening. The main event developing right now along the Montana border. It is 100 degrees in Aberdeen, 97 in Oaks, 91 in Fargo, and look at this, 68 in Langdon. So the heat issue is along Interstate 94, Highway 10 and Point South, where we have near triple-digit heat indices. So if you're heading out to the Rib Fest, make sure you're staying hydrated to beat the heat. A few storms, as we mentioned in number 2, drifting through Lakes Country, but here's the main event we're keeping our eyes on. Active tornado warning now in North Dakota as the system is just crossing the border. Gusty straight line winds will be our main threat, and the threat lasts into the overnight and morning hours. So most of us get through the evening with not much to worry about, but I'll time out when these storms will be in your neck of the woods with the latest in your hour-by-hour forecast in a moment.
All right, thanks so much, Hutch.
Tonight, a Fargo woman is sending out a warning after someone broke into her apartment through the window that holds her air conditioning unit.
Valley News Team's Nishay Taylor has our story.
Sadriana King never imagined having an air conditioner in her window would lead to her apartment being burglarized. King says she works for the state of Minnesota and one day a week has to travel to the Twin Cities to go into the office. And recently, while she was gone, someone broke in.
Went down on Friday night, returned late Monday night because of the storm. 12:30, walk in. Wires hanging down.
She says someone pulled out the air conditioner attached to her bedroom window and crawled in. Fortunately, very little was stolen.
It just looked like something was out of place. The TV was there, the shelf was still on the wall, and then I realized that the sound bar wasn't there. And it's like, okay, so I thought maybe it fell off the wall. Looked all around, my Blu-ray and then the modem were just hanging from the wires.
King now says the senseless burglary has her feeling disappointed after trying to escape this kind of activity in her previous neighborhood.
Due to the fact that, one, I checked out the neighborhood before I moved up here. Two, I moved up here away from St. Paul because of this specific reason. People kept trying to break into my apartment there. My car had been broken into a few times.
King believes it wasn't a random burglary. She feels it is easy for someone to notice when she leaves her home. Now she is warning other residents living in lower level apartments to secure and screw down window air conditioning units so this doesn't happen to anyone else. In Fargo, Nishay Taylor, Valley News Live.
King also says the locks to her apartment building have been changed. The property managers are also providing extra security on the windows holding her air conditioners. She has also filed a police report.
The man accused of brutally assaulting a teenage girl last week who died this week could soon be charged with murder. Arthur Colley is currently charged with attempted murder, but county prosecutors have filed a motion to amend those charges. This comes after the death of 14-year-old Jupiter Paulson on Tuesday. Colley told investigators he was on meth when he attacked Paulson last Friday morning and claims he doesn't remember any of it.
Meanwhile, Sanford Health held a donor walk today in honor of Jupiter. Her organs and tissues will be donated to those in need. Hospital staff, as well as family and friends, escorted Jupiter from her room to the operating room, where Sanford's transplant team took over in recovering her organs.
Derek Chauvin's attorney is seeking not only a new trial, but also a hearing to impeach the verdict by investigating potential juror misconduct. The request for a new trial is fairly routine, but the request to investigate the jury is not. Prosecutors have until Wednesday to submit written arguments in response to that request. It's not clear when the judge will rule. Chauvin is scheduled to be sentenced on the 25th.
A jury convicted a man today for causing the death of a retired police chief. Morris Dodd shot 53-year-old Jay Nelson while he was hunting back in November of 2018 on the White Earth Reservation. He says he was trying to shoot a deer. Dodd wasn't supposed to have guns since being convicted of sex crimes back in the 90s. He'll be sentenced next month.
A man from northern Minnesota will spend over a year in jail after killing and beheading a 700-pound bear. Prosecutors say James Stimmick entered the Red Lake Indian Reservation without permission in 2019 and used a compound bow to kill the bear. Stimmick went back to the reservation the next day and posed for photos with it before using a saw to remove its head as a trophy. He's been sentenced to 15 months in prison. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is urging lawmakers to pass a budget on day one of this month's special session. A financial agreement must be reached before July 1st or the state risks a government shutdown. He also commented on the state's revenue report this afternoon. The report says Minnesota is looking at a $1.8 billion surplus. This comes after a forecast update in late February showed that a $1.3 billion deficit had become a $1.6 billion surplus. Walz says he's confident in where the state stands.
It's gratifying to see that we were able to not have to make false choices between keeping our citizens safe and keeping our economy strong. The numbers are there. They appear to be right on track.
Walz also said that he believes the off-ramp for the eviction moratorium is in sight, with Minnesota's COVID cases at a 15-month low. Later on Valley News Live at 6, we'll revisit today's arrest of a man suspected in several recent robberies.
But next, we're tracking weather. You can stay up to date with the latest by scanning this into your phone. Download the Valley News Live weather app. Right now, we have heat, so make sure that you're staying hydrated. Coming up, I'll have details on where these storms are heading in your forecast next.